What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I Used to Be Paid, and today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Drake catching this new lawsuit. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things, it helps me out a ton. Drake, Adin Ross, and Stake, the online crypto casino, recently caught a class action lawsuit in the state of Missouri for promoting illegal online gambling. The class action seeks to hold Drake and Adin Ross liable for the gambling losses of their class members. Drake and Adin Ross have been longtime ambassadors of the brand Stake online for years now, for a very long time. They often promote the brand by streaming on the streaming service Kick, which is a subsidiary of Stake, and they stream themselves gambling on Stake. Drake even has Stake tagged in his Instagram bio, with his only highlight section on his Instagram being dedicated to Stake, and he regularly makes posts on Instagram dedicated to advertising for Stake. He even is still making posts after catching this lawsuit just like a week ago now, but that's a pretty regular thing for him on Instagram to be posting Stake promotions. And Drake himself is even promoted as more so of a partner than like a regular influencer who's just promoting the brand, kind of like Adin Ross was. Drake is seen as like a partner of Stake. And you know how everyone makes those jokes about Drake and his really, really bad tickets when it comes to gambling, right? When it comes to sports gambling, it's like the Drake curse. You never want Drake to bet on your favorite fighter or bet on your favorite team. Whenever he posts those slips on his Instagram story, that is promotion for the brand Stake. He's not just gambling for the fun of it and just posting his bets because he loves to have people see his bets and go against him and fade him. This is promotion for Stake. Now, I think that this is coming at a very interesting time, at least for Adin Ross, because he just recently left Stake. Like maybe a few weeks ago, he made an announcement that he was joining RainBet, which is another online crypto casino, and they allegedly paid him like $100 million up front or something crazy like that. But
all right, I got $100 million up front. RainBet sent me $100 up front.
It's clear that the ties between Drake and Stake and Adin at a certain point in time ran really, really deep. They were really, really heavily tied together. Shout out to Daniel Wallach on Twitter because he had all this stuff basically broke down from the lawsuit, giving a summary of what's going on here. Breaking: Canadian rapper Drake and online influencer Adin Ross have been sued with sweepstakes casino website Stake.us for promoting illegal online gambling in Missouri. The class action seeks to hold Drake and Ross liable for class members' gambling losses. Stake in particular pays online influencer defendants Adin Ross and Aubrey Drake Graham, Drake, each millions of dollars yearly to engage in promotional live stream online casino gambling with Stake.com. But Drake and Ross do so under deeply fraudulent pretenses. To wit, when Ross and Drake purport to gamble online with Stake.com, they often do not do so with their own money, despite telling the public in Missouri and elsewhere the opposite. Drake is directly sponsored by both Stake.us and Stake.com, which prominently feature him on their web pages, strategically using his celebrity influence to encourage impressionable users to gamble. Stake boasts that Drake has been a long-time member of the Stake community, after which a partnership was formed where a new gaming experience will allow users to have a chance to win big alongside Drake. This type of giveaway will be on a magnitude unseen before. Drake's involvement is further described on Stake.com as a journey from a player to a partner, and touts Drake's live stream giveaways and rewards, as well as his Stake history in the making. Even Drake's official Instagram account, Champagne Poppy, and X account, Drizzy, prominently display his partnership with Stake, which reach over 142 million and 38 million followers respectively. That placement puts it ahead of his other ventures. On one of the most followed accounts in the world, this kind of visibility elevates Stake far beyond the typical World Wide Web platform. It becomes a centerpiece of Drake's brand ecosystem. Drake's role as Stake's unofficial mascot is quietly corrosive. He's glamorizing the platform to millions of impressionable fans, many of whom treat his wild betting habits like gospel. Stake's influencer marketing, especially through Drake and Ross, is directed among others at teenagers in Missouri and in other states. Stake's and Drake's and Ross's conduct here threatens the welfare of Missouri's residents and especially its young people. Most people who know about Adin Ross know of his connections to Stake, or at least his former connections to Stake, but most people who know about Drake probably don't know this about him. They might have seen a few Stake posts on his account, but they didn't really know what was going on. They probably just thought, oh, well, Drake just kind of likes to gamble. That's one of his things. No, he is getting paid millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars from Stake to promote their brand. See, celebrities, influencers, a lot of the money that they make is from sponsorships, right? They might have a Gatorade deal, they might have a Nike deal, they might have a whatever deal, but there's no money like gambling money. That's why you consistently see these gambling ads now. That's why everybody and their mama has a gambling sponsorship, because there's no money in this world from sponsorships like gambling money. And online gambling, crypto gambling in particular, is very, very popular. And it was a really big thing online just a few years ago when there was some controversy with the streaming site Twitch, when a lot of people were on Twitch and they were streaming gambling. And some of the biggest content creators like Pokimane, amongst others, were complaining about this because they were promoting gambling to children. Because obviously, if you're on Twitch, a lot of the audience is young kids, maybe some young adults, but mostly teenagers, middle school age, younger people in general. And that led to the creation of Kick, because Twitch ended up banning gambling. And Kick was made by Stake. So obviously the goal with Kick is to get you to eventually gamble on Stake. And that's why Kick was handing out those huge bags. That's why people was getting millions of dollars. That's why somebody like XQC got $100 million, because not only did he go to Kick, but he was gambling on Stake on Kick. So there is a huge bag that's being handed out. So I understand that everyone knows that gambling is highly addictive. We all know that we probably shouldn't be promoting gambling to kids or to younger people, or really probably just promoting gambling in general. But that bag is crazy. There's no bag quite like that gambling bag. And that's why Drake has been partnered with Stake. Drake, according to academics at least, gets somewhere around like $180 million a year from Stake. So that is why the money that you get from gambling is like no other. Now, regarding the lawsuit and what was actually claimed in it, do I believe that Drake and Adin Ross are playing with house money when they gamble on Stake for these huge brand promotions, these streams? Absolutely. Now, this is me playing a character. I don't believe anything I'm saying. I used to be paid as a character, separate from the real person that is Justice. This is not my actual opinion. I'm just speculating. I don't know anything, okay? This is a joke. But I do believe that they are playing with house money. And even if they really aren't playing with house money, if I give you $100 million to gamble on Stake every single year, and you gamble, let's just say $8 million, you might as well be playing with house money anyway. But personally, I do believe they are playing with house money. Now, do I think this lawsuit will actually lead to anything? No. No, I don't. This class action lawsuit has some merit, but it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. And if I know one thing about these online crypto casinos, is that it's that they're very savvy. Okay? They might be shady, they might be a little, off, they might do some business practices that aren't super ethical, but they're very, very savvy. They know what they're doing, they know how to avoid the law, they know how to get around things, right? So I think that Stake is very well prepared for this. I think Adin Ross and Drake are just going to have to ride the back of Stake in this lawsuit. I don't think they're really going to do much of anything. I think Stake is going to handle this and probably get it thrown out by the time the year ends or something like that. Because with an online crypto casino, you have to be very, very savvy legally, right? Like they even mentioned in the lawsuit, stake.com is illegal in the United States. You can't bet on that unless you have a VPN. And they created something called stake.us, which is a loophole. It's a sweepstakes gambling operation. So it's not technically online casino. They know how to get through these loopholes, okay? It's an Australian-led company. The guys who made Stake are Australian, but the company's base is in a country called Curacao, I believe, and it's right around Venezuela, and it has a population of less than 200,000 people. You watching this video probably live in a city where there's more than 200,000 people. But the base of Stake, this billion-dollar corporation, is in a small country near Venezuela. And that's because most online crypto casinos, or most countries, ban online crypto casinos. That's not legal in most developed countries. There's like a few, but for the most part, it's not legal there. These guys know how to play the legal game. They know what they're doing. They know the loopholes. They know what they can and can't get away with. They know what you can prove and not prove about their operation. So at the end of the day, this probably isn't going to go anywhere. I don't think that Drake and Adin Ross are going to end up paying for this. I think that this is something that Stake's going to pull out their legal belt, hit Missouri over the head a couple times, and then go on about their day. Because that's how these casinos operate. But gambling specifically, to get to that, is just such a big part of our society nowadays. There's no avoiding it. You can't watch a sporting event without getting some sort of ad read for gambling. Oh, this is the line tonight. The Suns are favored by 3.5. Get Anthony Edwards points at 26.5. Like, you can't do anything without getting a gambling ad. You can't watch the UFC. You can't watch your favorite podcast. You can't watch a YouTube video. Everybody is promoting gambling. You can't see your favorite celebrity. All of these guys are promoting gambling. It's just everywhere now. And so when people are getting sued and things like this are happening, don't be surprised. And I think that it's a little disappointing to see somebody like Drake or some of these bigger names like LeBron, Kevin Hart so involved in it, but it is what it is at this point. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. Everything's ran by the dollar, and the biggest dollar right now is the gambling industry. And the reason why these guys get paid so much is that Drake is able to bring in that profit. Drake is able to get his fans to lose 9 figures worth of money every single year. That's how they're able to give these big bags, because you're able to convince your audience to lose. And that's what I think is so sinister about gambling deals specifically, because it's like you gain directly from the loss of your followers. Like, it's not even like oh, well, your followers technically lose money, but, oh, well, they got a t-shirt. Oh, they got a hoodie. Oh, they got this. No, they literally just go to the site, put in their money, lose it, and you're gaining because of that. So for me personally, I don't really like the gambling thing. And for Drake, to me, it's like, it's disappointing, because it's like, what do you need it for? Now, if this is an upcoming, content creator who's trying to change his life and he takes a gambling deal, I might not be a fan of it, but I understand it. That makes sense to me. That money's hard to turn down when you go from a regular person to they're offering you $20,000 a month to promote gambling. It's like, I get it, Brian. I'm not going to lie. But Drake is already stupidly rich. He's dumb rich. He doesn't need to promote gambling. He doesn't need to do any of this. If he wants to gamble, go and gamble. But to promote it to your audience, it's like, I don't really like it. Now, you could say, well, these people have the free will to gamble or not gamble, and you'd be right. I'm not saying that Drake is responsible for every single person that's ever signed up for gambling or for stake.com, but you can't act like he doesn't have a major influence on his audience. And it's like, if Drake really wanted some extra money, bro, go start a clothing brand. Go get one of these little young street clothes designers and start a clothing brand. Like Young Thug did, or some of these other rappers. Like, if you really need the money, just go do that. And that's the thing. It's like, it's the laziest possible thing you can do to get some money, especially for Drake. All Drake has to do is post a bet slip and go on about his day. He just cashed out. He posts maybe 40 bet slips a year, gives you maybe like 8 live streams of him gambling, and he's made $180 million. And it's like, yeah, that's an easy thing to do. Why wouldn't you do it? But I feel like when you have that much money, that's just greed, bruh. Because you are directly hurting the only reason they're giving you that much money is because you're directly hurting them. And you could be like, oh, well, what about alcohol? People that promote alcohol or promote weed or something like that. And it's like, yeah, again, those are negatives overall on the human body, but at least that customer is getting that product, right? They're at least getting the alcohol. They can enjoy the alcohol or whatever it is. They can enjoy the whiskey or whatever. Like, with gambling, you just get teased with like a dopamine rush and then you lose. Gambling isn't a billion-dollar industry because people are just winning all the time. Gambling's a billion-dollar industry that can pay Drake close to $1 billion over his life or whatever because his fans are losing. And it's just, I don't know. It's like, yeah, he says, oh, gamble responsibly, or he posts that, oh man, I lost $8 million, guys. This is the scary side of gambling. There is no scary side of gambling for Drake. He either wins his bet or he loses his bet, but he still gets the money from stake regardless. So for me personally, I don't like the gambling thing. I think that Drake should do something else. He could do something else. And it's like, he doesn't even sell merch really. Drake has never really had like merch or a clothing brand. That would be so cool. Drake merch or a Drake clothing brand would be really, really cool. And I guarantee you, people would be handing out money easily for it. If Drake, I know he has Nocta and Nike and Nocta, but that's not really like a direct clothing brand in the sense of like Spider with Young Thug. Like that's a clothing brand. That's something that's really like got its own identity and it's directly tied to Young Thug. It's not just like, oh, this is Nike making some merch and slapping Drake's logo on it. I understand that Nocta exists. So if you're in the comments like, what about Nocta, bro? You don't know. I know, but you get what I'm saying. Drake isn't like heavily involved in Nocta, constantly promoted. Oh, guys, this new design. It's just like a thing that happens on the side that Nike does. But for a guy with as much power and influence as Drake has, it sucks that he promotes gambling. Am I surprised? No. Is he going to really face any repercussions legally for this? Probably not. But it is just a little bit of a sign of character to me personally, because he doesn't need it. The dude is stupid rich. But who knows? Who knows where this goes? Maybe the lawsuit does work. But yeah, the gambling epidemic in this world is crazy. It's out of pocket. And Drake and Aiden Ross are complicit. They are complicit. Now, if you're going to ask me personally, do I gamble? Yes, I do occasionally. I do. I do on sports. But I don't think I would ever promote it, unless they're about to give me $200 million and change my life forever and change my family's life and everybody that I know is now out of poverty and living lavish. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. All right. If it's $200 million, I'd be stupid to turn it down. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to get that offer. But if I do make it, I'm not going to push gambling on y'all. All right. I'm not. But if you made it to the end of this video, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. It helps me out a ton. I go by the name of Pay. Peace.